First of all, Holmes, I gotta give it to you, man. That was pretty good. You wanna talk about addiction, listen? You wanna go down that road, vato loco? Pues órale ese. You know what, Holmes? We're going down that road. Well, let's do what we say in Spanish. Vamos a decirlo en Chile. Let's tell it straight up, man. The truth is, Brock, I am an addict. See, Brock, about 3 years ago, Holmes, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, vato, your home state. That's right, vato. In the shower, in the locker room. Oh, man, I was high, bro. I was high. And I don't remember much about that night, I said, but what I do remember, they carried me out of that arena and they carried me straight into rehab. And see, they didn't do that. I did that to myself, vato. But that was just the beginning of it, I said. Because see, through all that time, bro, through all those 3 years, not only did I wind up losing my job, I lost my wife, I lost my kids, and I lost myself. I lost my spirit. I disgraced my race, I disgraced my family, and I disgraced myself. But you know what, Brock? I came to a point in my life, I came to a point where it was do or die, Holmes. I had to make a decision. Do or die. And you know what, I did. Because I'm here right now. Day by day, by the grace of God, I have earned my way back into this ring, man. Day by day, by the grace of God, I have earned the respect of my kids again. Day by day, I have earned my life back. And see, Holmes, when I stand across you and I see that across your waist, you know what that symbolizes for me, I say? That symbolizes for me, I'm sorry. That's my way of telling my family I'm sorry. That's my way of telling my kids I'm gonna provide a better way of life for them. I'm gonna get the bikes that they wanted. I'm gonna give them a better education. That's my new addiction, home. See, when I step into this ring, yeah, bro, I am addicted. I'm addicted to the high that I get from them. I'm addicted to the high that I get when I go home and I tell my family, hey, I'm doing it. I'm addicted to the satisfaction that I get to tell everybody like you that didn't believe in me, you can stick it up your ass. I'm addicted to the do or die feeling, Holmes, that I'm gonna have this Sunday night at No Way Out, because you know as well as I do, Holmes, oh, what a high it is when we're in here, brother. See, but the difference between me and you, bro, is that I'm an addict and I'll do anything and run over anybody that it's gonna take to get that around my waist and get my high at No Way Out and become the WWE champion. ¡Órale, vato!
Hello and welcome to this episode of All Up in Your Geek. With me, as always,
Money here.
And Bob, aka Flash Rodman. Greetings.
and this is Lou, aka Puerto Rican Judo, and aka Pornhub name Frodo Bangings.
Frodo Bangings. Lord of the Cockrings.
All right, what's up, guys? Let's geek it up.
All right.
Oh, I messed that up.
Woo! Did you?
Is that too soon?
It's geek up.
All right.
Geek it up.
You can.
Ah, fuck it. It's our show.
Right,
We say
it's
whatever
our
the
show.
fuck we
Do what you want.
Let's geek
Geek
it up.
up, don't geek up, take a shit, don't. Whatever.
So what you been up to?
I got into and completed The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, you had to look.
I did. On Netflix. Wow.
Did you vomit?
No.
I heard it.
Should I have?
I heard it was
that
good, though.
I heard in some people it caused vomiting and some crazy ass reactions. 'cause it
Seriously?
was- yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I didn't hear that.
No, that's obscene. It's ridiculous. Like, first of all, it was amazing. Probably the best thing I've seen since the original season of Stranger Things.
Wow.
Full disclosure, I made that up.
Oh,
Okay.
Just saying.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would call it scary. Mm-hmm. It was great. It was incredible. But it's not really about the haunting so much. Mm-hmm. I mean, that sucks you in, and that is what the story revolves around. And I am not going to really give any spoilers here, so get in front of a TV and watch it. But it is binge-worthy. I definitely did, quote-unquote, binge it. I think I watched maybe like 5 or 6 episodes at once, and then I went back and finished the few that were remaining after that.
Okay.
But there was something that I wanted to tackle. Just some details about the show that sort of pertain to our previous discussions.
Spoiler alert.
No, not. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
Non-spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
right. Non-spoiler alert. There's not much information here. But I particularly loved how it's about a Caucasian family. Mm-hmm. One of the daughters, there's 3 daughters and 2 brothers. And then, of course, the mother and father. One of the daughters was married to some sort of a, I'm guessing Hispanic. I don't know exactly, darker skinned. Mm-hmm. But they never fucking mentioned it. Another one of the daughters was married to an African American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there was an episode that sort of revolved around their wedding, but never mentioned the race difference, not once. Mm-hmm. And then the third daughter was a lesbian.
When you say never mentioned it, you mean they didn't talk about it in the show?
At all.
Like,
not once.
So how do you know that that's the case?
I have eyes.
So then they mention it. If they're showing it
No,
to you,
but
they're mentioning it. I don't
I'm
understand.
saying the media
didn't make
today,
they didn't make a point of
they
it.
didn't make a point of it. It's not an all-women's pay-per-view, if you know what I mean.
I got you. I see
There
what
was
you're saying.
no
Okay.
focus. The third daughter was a lesbian. And again, it comes into play it a few times, but they don't talk about it as it being this taboo topic.
Yeah.
You know, where you're married to somebody of a different race or a different...
Was it a hot lesbian?
I'll let you be the judge.
You're not even going to spoil
I'm
that
not
for
going to
me?
spoil that. You got to
Fuck.
watch it.
All right, fine.
But I loved how they didn't touch on these topics. It was just part of the story.
Right,
It was
it's
just
just
part
there.
of the show.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, I
they didn't
prefer
have
that.
to point
Yeah.
it out. And
Yeah.
it wasn't out of place or taboo like it is in society because nobody made a point of fucking pointing it out.
When was it set? Is it set in modern day?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
set
I don't know exactly the year. I don't even... It might have been mentioned at one point. I don't think it was.
at least within the last 20 years?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want to say, like, now.
Yeah, I feel like it. I
Okay,
thought it was modern
alright.
times. The
But-
trailer I saw.
No, that is good.
we create the issues with these things by making, oh, this hurt my feelings or I don't approve of it. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome how much difference was included within this story without anyone having to shine a light on it and point it out. And it was just so refreshing. And it all played so well into the story of the show.
Right.
And again, I'm not going to give any spoilers. Like I said, there was one episode that revolved around the wedding, but it was more about the daughter getting married than, again, they didn't discuss the race difference at all.
So people got married. Thanks.
Yeah, right? Spoiled.
Ruined. Not watching.
Don't
now.
even watch
Not
it.
watching.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that there's a difference. I think that there's a difference between maybe homosexual relationships and interracial relationships than specifying something's all this or all that. I think like all women or all whatever. I think there's a difference, but I do appreciate I didn't know this.
Right.
Like I've heard a couple of things about the show, and this is the first that I'm hearing about this, and I think that it is refreshing that a show like that has all these different levels can get to this phase without any other form of media mentioning this is the case, that there's two interracial relationships and a gay relationship, and nobody's up in arms about it. And if they are, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
So I think that's great.
Well, I thought what was awesome about it was it really didn't affect the story at all. It would have just been easier for the producers, the directors, to make them all Caucasian.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what's accepted and that's what's typical. But they went out of their way to introduce the differences and kind of show you that there's nothing to be afraid of and there's nothing to see here. Move along. Mm-hmm. And we're still going to tell the story. And it's a few of the episodes revolved around each one of the husbands or the wives. But again, it just had nothing to do with their color or their gender. And up until the very last episode, I want to say the last scene involves the lesbian couple. But again, it's never touched on besides it being... And they do talk about that at one point because the parents are talking to the brother, and they're all older now, and he's just like, "Oh, we knew, we knew when your sister was, I don't know, 7 or 8, but that was it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like they don't even talk about what they knew. It was just like, oh, well, we knew.
Yeah,
and that was it. And I think that's a typical conversation. I don't know. I don't have brothers or sisters like that, but I think that's a typical conversation for a brother or a sister to maybe have with a parent, saying, "Oh, but did you guys know? We knew. Did you know?"
Yeah.
And I thought it was I just thought it was very refreshing. It was nice to see.
I don't disagree. I think that's great.
Right,
Yeah,
and let's not focus on it and make it a point
And-
that, hey, there's a black dude.
And isn't that the ultimate goal?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If to make this like a normal
Yes,
thing,
exactly.
to,
And
to
you don't
not have to point out.
Right, we don't have to
this
point
or
it
that
out every time it
that's
happens.
That's the ultimate goal.
We don't have to point out the equalities or the inequalities.
Right.
Or maybe I don't like you just because you're a douche.
Yeah.
Not because your skin is dark or light or you have titties
Yeah.
or you don't. You're just an asshole. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be an excuse, and I don't have to cry foul about why it is that you don't like me. Oh, he doesn't like me because I'm white.
Yeah.
Maybe my behavior just isn't appropriate.
Yeah.
Right. It's got nothing to do with my color.
Sure.
Or maybe I didn't get the job because I wasn't qualified, not because... But anyway, getting off on a tangent here. I thought it was refreshing that those things were introduced and parts of the story without being made, look at me.
Yeah.
That being said, watch it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not sure if it's up either one of your alleys, but it's really, really good, and it's not about a haunting.
Okay.
That's the title, and that's a big part of the story.
Second spoiler.
But that's not... Yeah, right. If you don't know how to
Stop
read
talking
and you
now.
didn't know. But that's it. So I finished that
Oh, cool.
yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and I won't even say that. I won't even say
Then
that.
don't.
Yeah, I'm not. We'll move on.
Moving on. Oh, me.
Get your head out of your ass.
Yeah. Really, yeah, everything pretty much the same with me. I'm still playing Dragon Quest. I'm playing the Castlevania with the Rondo of Blood. Yeah, working
So hard, yo.
And see, that's the thing. The blood comes from the anal pounding that game gives you. That's where it gets its name. But I'm also working on actually making my own PlayStation Classic with my
Apple TV?
Yeah, with my Apple TV.
Brought to you by...
No, but because I mentioned I have that Chinese handheld that I got that runs all the emulators.
I should have said Sony TV, shouldn't I?
Yeah, no, but that's okay. But that actually runs PlayStation games like actually pretty well. So I actually experimenting, putting some games on it and testing it out with the gameplay. I have some DualShock 3s hooked up to the TV, trying out some games that way, seeing what I can get running and how well it is, because I want to compare when I do get the PlayStation Classic. I would like to compare and see,
I respect the fact that you're getting it because you want it as a collector's piece. But
Yeah.
I agree with money.
I was hoping you were going to
I'm
tell me
not
you
arguing.
canceled your pre-order because you got this
didn't.
thing.
I didn't.
Son
Sorry.
of a bitch.
Sorry.
What a disappointment you are.
I am, and I'm happy to disappoint. Yeah, but that's it. That's pretty much it.
All right. How's it going? I mean, you said you're doing it, but...
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I was playing Medal of Honor because I actually never played the first Medal of Honor.
It's really good.
Yeah, so I mean that was pretty cool, and I got the Spider-Man. I got the Spider-Man for the PlayStation, kind of running. I mean, I have played that before, but I haven't played it in a while. I was kind of like revisiting.
What you should do is get Rainbow Six.
Yeah, Rainbow Six, that classic PlayStation game that everyone loved, of course.
And Battle Arena Toshinden.
And Battle Arena Toshinden.
Mr. Driller.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is, with the emulations, the opening intros, the audio is a little, it's not perfect, but the gameplay
Is it a little jumping flash?
It's a little jumping flash. But yeah, no, I mean for what it is, I think so far so good. But I'm gonna compare.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a rough week last week. I played maybe 2 hours of Red Dead, and that's about it.
So it can't be that great.
No, I was that busy.
No, you got to take a day off of work, dude.
No.
Your kids are in school. There is no excuse for you to not wake up with a little bit of a cough. Little bit.
No.
And call out of work.
Yeah, no.
You don't have sick days?
I have sick days, but I reserve them for when I'm actually sick. Because what'll happen
That's
is
so honest of you.
I'll take a sick day, just to take a sick day, and then the following week I
You'll get
the flu.
sick.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So I don't want to play that
karma,
game.
yeah.
I don't want to play that game.
You apparently don't want to play this game either.
I want to play so bad. I think I dreamt about playing it. Like that's how bad. Like I'm suffering from video game withdrawal.
Oh boy!
Because I've not played all week.
Wow.
Yesterday I played Rondo of Blood for 3 hours, and
didn't you just say you didn't play games all week?
it's a different week. Today's Tuesday.
Right.
Yesterday's Monday.
But you see, but I thought you meant from Tuesday to Tuesday, like that.
Oh no.
Okay.
You know, I was still really fucking tired.
Right.
But I just wanted to play something, and I didn't want to get into the depths of Red Dead. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to relax with some Rondo Blood.
right. Like
You are really bad at that.
Like
Yeah,
you
my
relax
blood
with
was-
an acid enema. It's the same kind of
My
relaxing.
blood was definitely Rondo.
Yeah, you're really bad at choosing games to relax
For
with.
real. You know, but I mean, I had fun playing it, but
Yeah.
I literally stage 4, I ran through it for 3 hours. I still haven't finished it. I finally got to the boss, and when I get to the boss, I have this much energy, and then it's like, and he's got this much energy. So it's.
That was very Mega Man of you.
I know. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. No, I was just commenting on
Oh, okay.
how great it was.
I like the sound that.
In fact, I want to hear it again.
There you go. You got it, just for you. So that's it, man. I played a little bit, and you know I was prepping for a party on Saturday, which you guys were there for.
It was a blast.
Yes, very good.
And that's it. I missed an opportunity last week, but hopefully by the time people have heard this, they would have voted. Today's election day.
Oh God.
I'm just saying. I
Kill me
voted.
now.
I voted.
Okay, great.
And I voted yes on putting political signs on Money's lawn.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah,
And I voted no. Forever. Period. Doesn't matter what's being voted on, the answer's no.
Denied.
Yeah. So that's it. Short intro for today for me. It was a long week. A very long week. So with that, I hear that there's something money that you want to discuss.
So research shows that there is, without a doubt, a positive correlation between violence in video games and aggressive behavior in children. Now, I went through and I had all these fucking studies to support this position and that position, and then I realized nobody really wants to hear a fucking research paper.
You lost me at research.
Right. So I know we've discussed this here and there throughout the lifespan of our show, but I wanted to get your guys' opinions on
What, video game violence?
violence in video games. I mean, these studies show, they all pretty much show the same conclusions, the same ideas, and that's that it increases risk-taking in an aggressive way in children, that it increases behaviors that would result in, quote, a trip to the principal's office, and that it desensitizes these children to the repercussions of these behaviors. It also shortens their attention span, and, there's all types of psychological bullshit.
I stopped paying attention 30 seconds ago.
Touche. But I just wanted to get a little bit of feedback, at least from you guys.
Yes, there's violence in video games. That's about the extent of my agreement with a lot of these studies. I've read studies in the past also, nothing recent, because I just I'm done with it. I know that there's violence in video games, but the violence in video games doesn't produce violent children or violent people.
Not on its own, no.
Right. Is there no correlation at all? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I can't say for sure that somebody who has played Call of Duty will not later in life snap and do something crazy in a school, in a post office, or whatever.
Right.
I see all these studies that are concerned with the effects of violence in video games, but I don't see any studies concerned with the effects of violence in movies.
I was just going to say, right. What's right? Because you can make the same argument.
And I'd love to
listen. We all grew up watching fucking Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry, and they used to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
The poor coyote.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, we played fucking video games. And once they became violent, we played video games. I've never killed anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I've only been in one fight my entire life when I was 8, and that's it.
Well,
and it was well before I ever even started playing video games.
I was in plenty of fights, but I don't think that had anything to do with video games.
Yeah.
I was never into the gory side of video games. I always thought it was stupid. My brother loved it, still does. And I'm just kind of like, but the game's fun or it's not. And I don't care if the guy's bleeding or if the blood is green or red or blue. It makes no difference to me. Even if they're bleeding.
I need blood.
I don't care. I just want the game to be fun. I don't particularly care for shooting games. It's not because they're shooting games. I just don't really like them. I know in my house, as I've previously discussed, that most of the games that we push or that we play, not that we do a ton of them, but are puzzle-based, thinking. I don't think I play anything, even when my kids aren't around. That's just, I don't play first-person shooters. I don't really care for third-person perspective. Like the action-adventure, okay. It doesn't turn me off. But I certainly wouldn't be like, oh, you have to play this game. It's so violent.
Yeah.
I had Thrill Kill for the PlayStation.
Great game.
It was. But I don't think it was any better because it was extra violent.
It was amazeballs because it was extra.
It was a great game. It was just a great game.
Yeah, right. I'll give you that. The violence was a bonus.
Yeah, so you didn't need the violence to make it a good game.
I'll agree to that.
And that's kind of how I feel just in general on that topic. And again, I'd love to see these studies and how they differ, or if they don't, based on violence in movies or books or any other platform.
I mean, we've discussed how they now have made video games a disorder, right? You have the gaming disorder,
that's something else,
but they really haven't classified things like sports addiction and gambling and shit like that. And if they have, I don't know about it. Have
gambling addiction's a pretty big thing.
Oh well, sports addiction.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, there are definitely hotlines for people who gamble too much.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't gamble, so I wouldn't know.
Right.
But I'm just saying, there are people who are sports fanatics, and they fight in the stadium because their team loses, And where's the study for that?
They fight in the stadium because they're animals.
And they're drunk, too.
Right, because most of the people in this world are fucking animals.
But over a sports team.
Right.
But there's no study on that shit.
Well, it's not necessarily... I mean, it is on the surface over a sports team, but it's really deeper than that.
Well, I think that's the point. It's all deeper than that.
Right.
I think it's all deeper
Right.
than that. The people who go to the school and shoot it up, the people
Right.
who goes to the church and
Agreed.
shoot it up. It's deeper than that, and they want to point to the games.
Why,
Because
though?
I think it's an easy.
But why?
It's an easy target.
Is this world better? I mean, it might be.
It
might be.
I'll tell you why. It's an easy scapegoat,
Right.
because it puts the adventure in your hand. You don't go to a movie and control what the movie does. You don't read a book and control
do
what
when you're shooting the movie theater. Right?
you don't read a book and
I shouldn't have made a joke about that, but I still think it was funny.
It was funny. You don't read a book and control where the story goes.
No, you
But-
choose your own adventure. I think you can.
Yeah.
Do they still make those? They
don't
made
make
those when we were
anymore.
kids.
Yeah, they don't have them as much anymore.
Maybe not
But
as much
I'm not
anymore.
even talking about those books. If you read a Harry Potter book, you're reading a Harry Potter book.
Right.
If you read a love book, you're reading a love book.
Yeah.
With a video game, every decision that you make, depending on the game, can change the outcome. You have control. You are in control of a person with a gun, a person who's a criminal, a person who's a superhero, a person who's a supervillain. You are in control.
And I think what it does too is by blaming the video game, I think it's I almost want to say it's a distraction too, to maybe get it off of the root. Yes, the root cause.
Yes.
Like maybe, and I'm not saying one way or the other, but maybe gun control, maybe the prescription drug epidemic, maybe people with fucking mental things that aren't being addressed.
Or, God forbid, anybody mention it, bad fucking parenting.
Yes, the responsibility of the bad parent. Because it's a video game. Oh, great. Well, that's
Right.
the culprit. It's not my fault because I fucked this up, or it's not the store that sold this guy the gun without doing the it's. I think that's more to do with it.
But don't we also, as intelligent, open-minded, critically thinking individuals, don't we have to at least look at the rest of the world and say, is it everybody else who's crazy? Or is it maybe me? Like, there has to be some modicum of, maybe we're not right.
That's a great word.
What?
Monicum.
Oh. Thank you. But maybe we are wrong. Maybe there is a problem with video games. Maybe the world is a better place if you take them away. I mean, I can think, if it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon and there are no video games in my house, which there wouldn't be because it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, maybe my kids would go outside more. And I'm not talking about my kids because, like I said, they're not fucking playing video games on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. But I know a lot of parents and their kids who would be. So maybe, just maybe, and maybe not your kids, maybe the world would be a better place.
Let me tell you something. If you take video games away right now, I'm fucking somebody up.
Yeah, right. Someone's gonna die.
You know what? As long as you're taking certain ones from me, I'm a Rainbow Six for PlayStation.
Get rid of the whole PlayStation
Classic.
Thanks to Bob, I have Battle Arena Toshinden and Battle Arena Toshinden 2.
I know, you're
just
welcome.
waiting to be taken from me.
Oh, man.
Yes, I mean, but I feel that's a good point. I think it's a good point, but I also feel that if it wasn't that, video games, wouldn't it just be something else?
Yes,
It would be.
it would be.
Then it would be books.
Right, it would be
movies.
books or comic books,
comic books.
movies,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
Magic
Yes.
the Gathering. I
Right.
mean, you know,
Sure.
Well, I would like to
Yu-Gi-Oh,
second.
Pokemon,
I would like to
Pokemon.
second those. No, right now, I would like to second those.
Beyblades.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut, Beyblades. You're welcome.
Here's the thing, though. I think you hit the nail right on the head. Regardless of whether video games are gone or not, on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, your kids are not playing video games.
And that's it.
And why are they not playing video games?
Because
you as the parent
Yes.
are saying, hey, you can play video
Exactly.
games when you come back later. You can play video games when the weather is shitty tomorrow. Right now, your ass is going outside.
Right, you're the parent.
Go
It's
play some tag.
You've
I'm gonna be
taken
honest, that's
the responsibility to make sure that they're exposed to other things and to balance the video
Right.
games with the outside, with the schoolwork. That's
I'm
really
going to be
that's
honest.
it.
That's probably my wife. I'm probably like, you know what? I feel like shit today. Do whatever you want.
Just play video games.
Yeah.
here's
In fact,
here's Halo.
Here's a nice violent one for you.
Theft Auto
I
5.
tried to give you a fucking compliment. I tried. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried. Just know that I tried.
I'm not having it.
Here's Battle Arena Shin, son.
Play some Rainbow Six, son.
Rainbow Six.
No, I don't think that violence in video games specifically is a problem. I don't think that is the underlying cause of anything other than fun. I'm sorry. I know that violence is not considered to be fun.
Yeah.
But when I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
But I'm also an adult.
Yes.
Right.
I know the
You
consequences.
know the difference between right and wrong.
But even in the game is giving you consequences. You want to pick up a prostitute and fuck in the car? Guess what?
Scurvies.
You get out. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but those repercussions are also fun. It's fun to.
Yes, it is. But it's still a repercussion that you have to deal with. Because if you're running from the cops and they can't catch you, your want level goes up.
Yeah, but
and every time it continues to go up, it gets
not
harder.
Fun in real life.
What, running from the cops? No, it's not.
And you are
It's
going to
not
get
supposed
your
to be.
ass beat
Yes.
and then gaped.
Either
You may not. Me, yes.
Rondo of blood.
Rondo of blood.
It is not fun, and in the game, it's fun.
No, sometimes it's not though. In the beginning, it's fun. When you have like a 2-star want level, yes, it's fun. When that shit goes up to 6, it's not. It's not fun anymore.
Right. So make sure when you're selling drugs, you keep lower than a felony amount on you.
Exactly.
But, I don't know if I mentioned this in the other
One
episode.
dime bag at a time.
But I'll say it again. Growing up, my dad had a friend, he had a shooting range. We spent many, many weekends shooting guns at a range. It was clay birds and
Right.
targets and this. And it was a good time. We were all safe. My dad was good. He showed us proper safety with everything. We all had a good time. Never had an issue. My point is that when I shot a gun, for real, it was vastly different experience than in a game. And I was able to, even at a young age, distinguish that this is real, this is serious shit,
Right.
and this is a video game. It's a video game.
It was even different than the Super Scope.
Yeah. It sure was. That thing was a piece of shit. But the thing is, I could distinguish the real from the fantasy. If you can't, you have other issues, other problems.
Right.
Speaking of which, have you seen the video? There's this video that was taken inside a shooting range. It's an indoor range. And the gun is positioned right over the area where these two guys, I guess they came together and they're shooting guns, right?
Okay.
So one guy is getting ready to shoot and the other guy is laughing like, oh, I got a gun. And he takes the gun, which is loaded with no safety, with his finger on the trigger, and he starts putting it to his friend's head
God.
like, oh. But you can't hear the audio. You can only see the video. And within an eye shot is an instructor who comes over and grabs the guy by the wrist, puts his hand up and disarms him and kicks them both the fuck out.
Yes.
He must have played violent video games, that instructor.
Oh my God. Or
must
did he eat paint chips?
Right? And I think that is the problem.
Yeah.
Dumb motherfuckers
well,
who do dumb motherfucking shit.
And you'll never get away from that.
No.
There's no way to eliminate that in this world.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I got.
That was a good bring up.
All right.
That was a really good bring
Well,
up.
thank you.
You're welcome. No. Thank you, sir.
No. Thank you, Bob.
I can take it or leave it.
And with that, we're going to go right into break.
Hold on to your eyeballs and get ready to rip into a whole new fist-in-your-face reality as Mortal Kombat 3 bashes its way into the R-Zone.
Use the backbreaker! Awesome!
You will meet all your enemies
Brain chop!
in this startling new dimension
They're right in my face!
in the R-Zone.
Here comes Wolf!
Mortal Kombat 3 lives in the R-Zone.
What's bugging you, Murphy?
Drugs. Drugs bug me.
Hi. That was Nancy Allen and me. I'm Peter Weller, the guy behind that mask. If you're a kid, please listen for a second. How do you keep away from drugs? They're everywhere, sometimes even at home. But there is one place you can go that is 100% drug-free. No pot, no pills, no crack, no smack, no coke, no exceptions. The Boys and Girls Club. It beats the streets. No kidding.
And we're back. Hit my music.
Viva la raza! I lie, I cheat, I steal. I lie, I cheat, I steal.
All right, that can only mean one thing.
Explosive diarrhea.
Actually, it could be. We'll get into that. But no, this is going to be the first ever wrestler's highlight. Take one wrestler. I'm going to look at him. Well, not physically because they're not here, but I'm going to look at his body of work and talk about him.
That was offensive. I'm offended.
Well, looking at bodies?
That he's not here.
Oh, that he's not here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, when you hear who it is, you'll know why he's not here.
With the history of wrestlers, I can take a pretty good stab at it. Stab.
This week, I'm going to be looking at the late, great Eddie Guerrero. He passed away November 13th, 2005. By the time this episode releases, will be, about that time. So I found it fitting to do a review or overlook. Nah, I like review better.
Okay, review it is.
Yeah, of Eddie Guerrero. One of...
A+, we're done. Let's move on.
Boom! See?
Thanks for coming.
I wrote all this shit down for nothing. That's all I needed to say.
No, I'm just kidding.
Man, my early memory of Eddie Guerrero is, I think the first match I saw him with was a match, WCW, with Dean Malenko. And while Dean Malenko...
Picture of personality.
I was about to say, while Dean Malenko had no charisma to him, the guy could fucking work.
Yeah, he was a good
Yeah, no, he's a great wrestler. Yeah.
And watching him and Eddie work, I'd never seen anything like that before. I'm used to WWF at the time.
Right, these over-muscled mongoloids. And
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yes, Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior shaking the ropes and all this other shit. And then you've got Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko pretty much technically tearing the fucking ring down.
Yes.
And it was absolutely amazing. And I think that's when I became a fan of Eddie Guerrero. But his career started back in like early 90s, actually 87.
Wow.
Where he was wrestling in Mexico. And he was at two different Mexican organizations, one of which he gained the most notoriety with a guy named Art Barr. They called him the Love Machine. And you know who that is?
No, that's me.
you.
That's
You're
me.
that's you. I fucking knew it. I went back and watched some of those old matches, and fucking Eddie Guerrero was a stud.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking stud, ripped.
Yeah.
He still had that long hair and the mullet, which was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, the guy could move. He was fast. One of the matches that I saw was he teamed up with Love Machine to take on Octagon and Hijo de Santos, which was another two Mexican guys. It was a tag team match, 2 out of 3 falls.
Okay.
12-minute match, fast paced all the way through, with pinfalls and fucking high spots and jumping out of the ring. I mean, it was amazing.
The different styles around the world are just so welcoming as a fan. And we get so used to the garbage that we're force-fed every single week.
Yeah.
And we tend to forget, some of us are just completely ignorant to the fact that there is other stuff that exists.
Yeah.
This was the first time that I ever sat down and watched a lucha libre match. I've never before watched it, and this organization was AAA. I've never watched it before, and they've been around, I guess, that long.
Forever, yeah.
Never watched it. But, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And his heat is unbelievable.
Yeah.
The way that he can connect with the crowd and draw that heat, and then, in an instant, you love him again. Like, it's crazy.
The problem is, these other companies aren't really accessible here. Unless you know about them and you know to look for them and where to go to get them.
Right.
You will never be subjected to anything but the shit you're fed.
Yeah, and mind you, this is 1992 to 94 that he was with them, so you probably can't get that.
You couldn't
at all.
get it, right?
And I don't know if these organizations have what the WWE has with the network. I think New Japan has one, and that.
Do they even have TVs in Mexico?
They have TVs.
They do.
In Mexico,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Confirmed. Thank you.
Jesus
Thank
Christ.
you.
Then I'm moving into ECW. I don't know. Did you guys ever see Eddie Guerrero in ECW?
Yes.
I did not see him at the time, but I picked up a DVD once that had some classic ECW matches, and they had one with Eddie Guerrero. I don't know if I was mistaken, but it was like, I think it might have been him and Chris Jericho and maybe one other person. It was like an amazing match, but I didn't see him at the time. But I went back and watched some stuff. Yeah.
I had a friend that I watched wrestling with when I was younger, and he turned me on to ECW and, like you said, all the stuff prior.
Right.
You know, we would hang out, and back then it was like you went to the videos, the Hollywood Video and the Blockbuster, and you rented a pay-per-view, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, but once you ran through all those, and you were still looking for stuff if you were into it, you know, so he turned me on, and then he was like, you got to see this match and that match. And so he was really, he knew a lot more about it than I did.
Yeah.
So I did get to see, and I didn't know what I was seeing when I saw it.
I saw very little of Eddie Guerrero in WCW, but what I did see was most of the... He continued to work with Malenko there, but he also worked with Benoit.
Right.
And Benoit is another guy with maybe a little more personality than Malenko, but nowhere near Eddie.
Nikita.
Yeah, right? Nowhere near Eddie, but the matches that they had were phenomenal.
Yes.
And they were brutal. Chris
Yes.
Benoit was fucking stiff.
Yeah.
Super stiff with his chops and his suplexes. Everything he did looked like it hurt.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you never got to see a lot of any of them on WCW.
Right,
Here or there,
yes.
you get one, you know?
Yes, that was that's why they left. I remember when I first realized, I think it was the LWO. It started the LWO. But
I have that written down.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's like when I first kind of I think became aware of him. But yeah, I would see him in those matches. The WCW Nitro, they did that thing where they were on that first hour before Raw.
Right.
And honestly, that was the best hour because they had
Exactly.
all the Lucha Libre guys, the lightweight, and those matches were the best matches.
You could watch the 8 to 9 hour of
and then,
Nitro
and then
turn it off and not have to go back.
Absolutely.
Because
and then
the
you
dinosaurs
go to
were
Raw.
coming out.
Yep.
Right, exactly. And you didn't need to see any of that garbage.
No, absolutely.
Well, even in New Japan Pro Wrestling, because he was in ECW in '95, Eddie, but between '93 and '96, he was also in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was still working with these guys. It was the same guys. They were working, together. Except when he went to ECW, I think he won the TV title from Tuco Scorpio, who was there.
What an ugly dude. ugly individual. Like, holy shit, ugly.
Yeah, he was an ugly dude.
I mean, I'm an ugly dude, but that guy was, wow. Made me feel good about myself.
I think Eddie had one. His final match was, I believe, against Malenko, and then the match was like outstanding. So it was like the last match that they had. So the whole locker room like walked them around the arena.
Where?
This was at I want to say it was a Philly show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they walked them around like the arena, and then the crowd started chanting, "Please don't go."
Yeah.
Because he was
leaving,
Benoit was leaving, and Malenko was leaving.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And I know Saturn was also Saturn was already in
looking
WCW.
at the camera but staring somewhere else.
Thank you. But I think he had already been gone. So this now moves into WCW.
That dude was born gone.
Who?
Perry
Saturn? Yeah, he was born gone. Now the Eddie Guerrero that you remember from WCW, that was fucking amazing shit, man.
Yeah.
He had U.S. title run, cruiserweight title, which he actually won from Benoit. I'm sorry, not from Benoit, from Jericho.
Jericho, yeah.
He took the cruiserweight from Jericho.
Yes.
And they had some really great fucking matches too. Like I would say, like, Jericho is the Canadian fucking Guerrero. Like, I mean, the two of them, whenever they were in the ring, was absolutely amazing. Other than Jericho, Rey Mysterio, who was also in WCW, and their fucking feuds were great.
Chapter 5! Dominic comes home.
That's WWE though.
I know, but I love it. I love it.
I was never a Mysterio fan. What he did, I mean, fine, but just never floated the boat for me. I guess I respect his talent, but
I liked Rey Mysterio more during the WCW days and the earlier days when he would have the good matches. Once he got to the 5 moves of doom and beating these giants, I'm taking the mask off.
Well, that was what I was going to say.
I was not so much.
I give him a little bit more credit, but he had the same personality that Benoit had or Malenko had. He was just smart enough to put on a mask and claim it was his heritage to not be charismatic. And for me, and I'm just speaking about me, I was always more concerned with the charisma, the personality of a guy, than I was who could do the 5 to 10 moves that they'd have to do. Because who's considered the greatest wrestler of all time? In many circles, it's Ric Flair.
Eddie Guerrero.
I'm not disputing that. But every match he ever had was the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was really what you're doing with the microphone in between the matches. And
see, but that's the thing. He was the best professional wrestler.
I don't think he was. That wasn't my opinion. I think he was trash.
I agree with that opinion.
Trash.
Yeah.
His personality is what got him there, because pro wrestling is different than what it is now.
Of course.
It was a sportsmanship. It was an entertainment thing, and he was that.
I don't think he was. I never found him entertaining. Even when I went back and watched the old stuff.
I always found him entertaining.
Not me. Just not my cup of tea.
But you know who was entertaining? Eddie Guerrero!
Yes, he was. He was very entertaining.
And going back to the LWO thing, I found that when they first did that to be very interesting. I didn't think that they would let that slide. Because, they did the whole BWO thing. NWO. They split them into
Why are we not
black
talking
and
about
red.
the Blue Meanie?
You spray me with your big hose. Blue Dust 1996.
Oh, that's gonna be a later spotlight.
Yes.
Later spotlight.
Right.
How dare you?
3-hour
Eddie Guerrero.
3-hour epic Blue Meanie.
I mean, he was pretty much at the center of that entire LWO thing, and then the other guys jumped on it with him, but they ended up feuding with Ray because Ray didn't.
Right, he stayed with the WCW.
He wasn't the one that wanted to join the LWO, which kind of made sense because he was making money.
Well, but let's not mistake what actually happened. I mean, that wasn't Eddie Guerrero's doing. There was somebody in some production meeting higher up that made that decision and
I'm not saying that he made that happen.
He might have made it work.
Yeah, he definitely made it work, but I wouldn't have thought that would have been something for that time that they would have done.
Right.
Putting all of the Latino wrestlers together like that. I didn't think that was coming, and I thought it was interesting. I think it just fell a little flat.
Well, why don't we have a problem with that? We have a problem with everything else being segregated. Why don't we have an issue with that? I don't.
I don't have a problem with that.
No, I don't. But it feels like we should, because whenever we segregate a group of people, good or bad, someone's got an issue. So why don't we have a problem about that?
A different time back then. They didn't give a shit.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, and from what I understood, WCW was like that time was like the Wild
96,
West.
97.
Right.
They were throwing everything against the wall.
We're not talking about the late 1800s. I mean,
no, but
we're
it
talking
was
about 20 years
definitely a much different time.
I agree.
Not just in wrestling, but
I
in
agree.
society. So
I agree.
They could get. I'm not even say get away with it. They could do that then. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things they can't do now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then he had that Filthy Animals group too, but I don't know how I felt about.
I didn't even remember it.
It was
so
like
you know
him,
what? It was
that's
that
when they finally got Ray. It was him, Conan, Rey Mysterio,
yeah.
and I think Disco tried to join, and they kept shitting on him.
I love Disco Inferno, by the way.
Yeah,
so do I.
But have I mentioned in the last 8 minutes how much I hate Conan? Because I don't think I have. I just wanted to put that out there. Don't like him. Never did.
I like.
That's
Conan.
it.
I've always liked Conan. There's something about him and
that makes me want to kick him in the face. Yeah, there is.
No, he did a lot for the cruiserweights or the Mexican wrestlers in general, and got them into a lot of indie promotions and into WCW. And for that, I think he did what he needed to do.
And that might be true. And I'm not disputing that. I'm ignorant when it comes to whatever you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I just don't like the dude.
That's fine.
Never liked the way he presented himself. Never liked the way he carried himself. Even outside of the wrestling universe.
Right. No,
you're not a fan.
You're entitled. Shit, fine. And then we get to the WWF Eddie Guerrero. Man, even studlier.
Yeah.
Even studlier.
Yeah.
He came in with the Radicals, and
yep.
He looked like $1 million. And I actually didn't know that in his first match against the Outlaws, he broke his arm. He did the.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I remember that. Yeah. That's
and then
true.
He was out almost a couple of weeks immediately after.
That was the first like frog splash he did, and then he broke his arm. Yeah,
he landed on the.
I remember that. I think I was watching that.
Yeah, and they were supposed to win that match, but he panicked and just, told Road Dogg to cover him for the pin, and that was it. I didn't know any of that.
Wow.
So I found that to be pretty interesting, that
Yeah.
even under those circumstances, on the fly, boom, this is what you need to do. The guy's fucking wrestling acumen was amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
I won't say unparalleled, but
No, not unparalleled, but amazing.
yeah.
Amazing, yeah.
Then he did some stuff with DX and with the Hardys and stuff like that in their with the Radicals, and then moved into the stuff he did with China.
Yeah.
Mamacita. I thought that was amazing.
A true showing of his skill by
got
taking
China
the turd,
over.
right? That is China,
got-
and polishing that to a
Holy
shine.
shit.
Yes, kudos Eddie Guerrero for
got-
pulling off that miracle.
If you're watching how it happened, he made her turn on Jericho, because she was with Jericho
Yeah.
at the time, and then she ran with him, and then she ended up winning the Intercontinental title, and he didn't have a problem with it,
Yeah.
but then weaseled his way into the match,
Yes.
and then fell on top of her to console
Yeah.
her and ended up pinning her.
Yeah.
It was great, and she was still mad at him, and he was still laying it on, and that's when they started, she said, I can't get away from his Latino heat.
No,
See,
no,
they can't
she
do
said,
that shit to
I
this.
can't get away from this Latino heat.
That stuff they can't do today.
Right.
But I mean, that whole angle with
Yeah.
with them was great.
Yes.
And all of that stuff that he did led to these two of my favorite matches outside of the parking lot thing with Cena, because that was I really liked that. When Cena first came in, he did like a El Paso parking lot brawl with
don't
John
remember
Cena.
that.
Oh, it was great. This is when John Cena was like the doctor of thugonomics.
Yeah.
He should still be the doctor.
He
will
Choke on
always,
these nuts.
always be that.
He squared drop me a beat.
I want to point out that I looked for a clip of B Square dropping a beat. Nowhere to be found.
That's a crime.
That's a
On
crime.
That is a
all
crime,
of the
sir.
internets
That
that
sucks.
exist, there is no B Square dropping any beat.
Is there no justice? We can't get beat squared to drop some beats.
Bob, if it's not on the internet, it didn't happen.
Here we go, guys. This is what you were waiting for.
Yeah.
Los Guerreros.
Yeah, not me.
Not you. Come on. That was good stuff. When he started that whole lie, cheat, and steal
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
gimmick,
good. Yeah.
that was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Him and Chavo.
Ooh, Chavo.
Him and Chavo did it up, man. They were really good at that. They complemented each other. It was one of the first times, again, another testament to Eddie's work. He made Chavo look great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Chavo
Chavo Guerrero is a very good wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a very good wrestler, but he made Chavo seem great.
He carried him. Yeah. Yeah, he did.
And I thought that was a feat in and of itself.
Well, again, Chavo is a very, very good wrestler.
I don't disagree.
He just has the personality of a shoe.
Yeah,
I mean,
he doesn't have the connection that
Yeah.
that Eddie has. That shit waved Chavo bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean the work was good. It was funny.
Yes.
I don't think it was with the Guerreros, with Los Guerreros, but when he did that whole thing with Big Show where he ate the fucking burritos and then he got explosive diarrhea.
I was going to say that was probably the only time of Chavo Guerrero's career that he didn't seem awkward.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
He was natural.
Yes, natural. Yes,
exactly.
good point. That's a good
Exactly.
point.
He was very
I would
natural.
agree with that. Yeah.
And then once he went through the Guerreros and he went through the Cena thing, Brock Lesnar, man.
Yeah.
He beat Brock Lesnar for that belt, and I
Yeah.
watched that match.
Yeah.
It was fucking amazing. The way that he won it and how happy he was, and he jumped out in the crowd. I think it had been a while since you've seen a guy jump in the crowd
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of the crowd, I would
yeah.
like to point out my favorite Eddie Guerrero moment
Mm-hmm.
was when a fan rushed the ring.
Yes, I was just thinking that. Yes.
He kicked that.
Yo.
I love that. I love
You want
that
to talk
one.
about
yeah.
a stiff kick?
Yeah. Just get the fuck out of here. Yes.
That is my favorite.
It might be
Eddie
my
Guerrero moment
favorite
of all
as well.
time.
Yo,
Thank
that's-
you, Eddie.
he fucked that guy up.
Yep.
Yep. That was great.
That was a great fucking
That dude
kick.
never rushed a ring again.
No,
Not even at the little gymnasium down the street.
he rushed to the hospital. That's where he rushed to. And then I was present for WrestleMania 20 when he won the title from Angle.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And that match was fucking great. And then he did the whole shoe spot where he untied his shoe and Angle went for the ankle lock.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pulled the shoe off and he's like, what?
Right.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, those two really cool matches. It was the same one where Benoit won the title too.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
when
That
he
was
came
a
out-
great WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was
a pretty great
that was an
WrestleMania.
awesome
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good one, Madison Square Garden, to be there for.
Mm-hmm.
And then shortly after that, unfortunately, not shortly, but some years after that, he did the stuff with Ray, with the Dominic. And,
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is like a wrestler now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I
is.
didn't know that.
I forget who he trains with.
I know who he doesn't train with.
Who?
Eddie Guerrero.
Jesus Christ! I want to say he was training with Ray.
Possibly. That would make sense on
Yeah.
a lot of levels.
But he had a heel turn. He turned on Ray, and then they did this whole custody thing,
Which was great.
which was it was edgy.
Yeah,
I
it was.
found
Yeah,
it
it was
very
out there.
edgy.
Yeah, me
You
too.
can't do
I
stuff
did.
like
You
that
can't do
anymore.
No,
stuff
you
like
can't.
that.
No, you can't.
In the public
They
world of
they
WWE. Yeah.
They tried in TNA and failed miserably with AJ Styles. It just didn't work.
Well, no, but WWE can't do shit like that
No,
anymore
now they
that they're
can't.
publicly traded.
Yeah. And then he feuded with Batista for a little bit, and then that turned him back face. And his last match was like 3 days before he died against Mr. Kennedy, and it earned him a spot. Like
what a
the
waste.
victory, the victory earned him a spot on the Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
and then he passed, and he actually ended up getting replaced by your other favorite wrestler, Randy Orton.
Yeah, wow. Talk about going from personality to none.
Man, listen, I love Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I was talking about...
No,
Randy
I
Orton.
know. I went through all
Arcade
of
no, I don't know.
I went through all of this just as
Arcade, nah!
I went through all of this just as a history thing, but Eddie Guerrero doesn't need a history. You could have watched him from when he got to WWF and still learned his body of work.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He was an amazing athlete, an amazing in-ring performer, a fucking great technician. He could do super serious, super mean, and then boom, just like that, he's funny again.
I don't disagree. The guy's range was limitless. Incredible entertainer all the way around. However, I don't want to romanticize the fact that he selfishly drank himself to death, leaving behind a family. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we should, if you want to cover his whole life and his whole body of work, that has to be mentioned. That's part of the deal, is taking care of yourself.
I don't disagree with that, but I think that his addiction started with him trying to take care of himself. He's taking pills because of the travel schedule that they have.
That's not taking care of yourself. That's not prioritized correctly.
When you're sick, you take medicine.
Yeah,
Do you not?
No.
Okay.
That's debatable.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're taught you're supposed to do.
Well, that's what we're supposed to do in this capitalistic country we live in.
Even when we were kids, when we had a cough, we took medicine. We were given medicine. We're told to take this. You got a headache, take these pills. So he is trying to do what he knows to do in order to stay paid. It started out with pills, and then he went to rehab, and he was in the indies for a while, and then he came back, and he was clean. But then he got arrested, I think, shortly after for DWI, and they released him after that. And then he came back, and he was clean, but the damage was already done.
Right, and I just don't think we should excuse that.
Up until the time that he passed, like, he was not. The damage was already done.
Right, I understand that. And look, we don't know.
But you're right, we don't.
We don't know.
We still don't. We don't know what happened.
But
and I don't,
it had to be mentioned, is all I'm saying. It had to be mentioned.
I don't discount it, but shit happens. Yeah. You make bad decisions.
Right.
It's an addiction. Addiction is a sickness.
I just didn't think it was fair to, like
Well,
I said,
it doesn't matter.
romanticize his career without mentioning the fact that he probably should have done some things differently somewhere along the line.
That's everybody.
Of course it is.
So I don't think that matters. I don't think that hinders.
But that's my role on this planet.
Thanks.
To bring everything
To
down
not- to
from
not
up
matter?
here.
I appreciate that, Buzz Killington. Thank you.
It doesn't matter. He could have been doing it up until the day he died, and it wouldn't have made a difference because his career was what it was, and it was great. And notwithstanding, he still left a legacy on the business, and his son is wrestling following that legacy. And I don't think that any of that is anything other than unfortunate for him.
Well, it is unfortunate,
Yeah.
but it's self-inflicted.
Yeah, but I don't think that makes a difference. I think that that's making something more out to be than what it is. At the end, it was his decision, nobody else's. He chose to do those things.
Right.
And unfortunately, after he died, other people had to suffer those consequences, but he suffered the consequences too while he was making those decisions. So,
well, that's a much deeper philosophical question, I guess. But
it is what it is.
Right.
I remember actually because he put out a book, and I read that, and he did go over a lot of the substance abuse and everything, and trying to take responsibility for that. But no, I mean I would 100% agree. He was really the total package. As far as wrestlers go, definitely a legend. I mean, in every sense of the word. And when I look at what we have now, I really long for
Here's a question.
those days.
If Eddie Guerrero was still around and was still able to go,
God, how old would he be now?
he'd probably be he was 38 when he died, so he'd be in his 50s maybe.
Okay.
If he could still go, who now do you think, or would you have liked to see him wrestle within that time frame? Maybe not now.
Okay.
Within from 2005 till now.
Seth Rollins?
John Morrison?
yeah, that's a good answer.
Right? That'd be a pretty cool match.
I kind of like those.
Yeah.
Those are good.
AJ Styles? Maybe back then?
Minus the mop hair.
Like 2000,
Minus the mop
2005 AJ Styles?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard to. I mean, he wrestled the likes of fucking Kurt Angle.
Well, yeah, but you don't have
Brock
that.
Lesnar.
You don't have that anymore.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
You still have
So-
Brock Lesnar.
Don't fucking remind me.
You're welcome.
See, Brock Lesnar back then, okay. This
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar now, I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
big
not-
no
Well,
thanks.
you know what the problem is? We don't have somebody. Well, we do still have Jeff Hardy around. My God, we don't have somebody like Jeff Hardy around to hit him in the head with a chair.
I would have liked to see Eddie Guerrero and Samoa Joe. I think that would have been a really
Interesting.
physical
Interesting.
fucking match.
Yeah. But you can't do that though. You can't take. Yeah, I guess it's hard to say. It's hard to look back.
It is.
13, 15 years later, whatever it is, and
Somewhere about the 2012 area, I think they would have crossed paths somewhere.
maybe I don't know. I don't know. I look at the fact that Shawn Michaels is still wrestling and Triple H is still wrestling.
What's the problem?
Yeah, I have no interest whatsoever. Like
Shawn
none.
Michaels is not.
Did you watch
still
that?
Wrestling.
Did you watch that match?
What the
one they just
DX?
had?
No,
Oh, I was curious to know.
no, I didn't. But he's not wrestling again.
I'm sorry?
He just did a match.
Well, what did he do?
Before this, he had
that
not.
was-
Yeah,
that
but
was
saying that
wrestling,
he's
wasn't it?
wrestling again is insinuating that he's back. He's not.
Did I say that? Did I say
Yeah.
wrestling again? I said he's still.
Well, still, that means he never stopped,
Well, right, but he performed. What was it last week? Whatever it was.
and that's it.
Right, I understand
But that doesn't mean still wrestling.
Well, what it means is I'm not interested, and that's what I'm saying. Is if it was,
say that.
that's what I said. I'm not
Now
interested.
you
I'm
did.
just not interested.
He's not.
I'm not
still
interested
wrestling.
in him. I'm not interested in Triple H. I'm not interested in Kane. I mean, that shit worked back then. But it doesn't necessarily... it's like playing a video game
This
20
is
years later that you
this
loved
is-
20 years ago. It doesn't mean it's good now.
This is the money that they got for the people that they wanted to see.
Oh, sure. Somebody paid it.
Yes,
I get that.
and that's
I
why
get
they
that.
went. That's the only reason
that.
why that happened.
Maybe. We don't know the reasons why, but possibly.
I'm 85% sure that is why any of that happened.
It was another opportunity for Triple H to ride the coattails of somebody else. That's why he wrestled there. And he rightfully tore his pec. Good for you, asshole. Stay where you fucking belong.
Yeah, with him, he's probably the only one because he doesn't need the money.
Oh, he doesn't need the money. It's
That's what I just said.
of course not. It's just riding coattails. That's all he ever did was ride the coattails of somebody else.
I don't disagree with that.
He never made it. He never drew any money on his own. It was always whoever he was wrestling. that was drawing The Rock and Austin and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. I mean, these are the guys that made the money. And he
still made the money with them. He just wasn't as good as they were.
Well, of course he made the money with them. I understand that,
right.
But he never drew a dime as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I can't say that he never drew a dime, but he certainly did not draw as much as The Rock or Austin did.
I was never, at any point in history, even when I liked this shit, was I most excited about his match. Never. Not once.
That's you.
There was nothing about him that... He just... Do you remember when he debuted?
Yeah.
I just never bought what they sold.
I get it.
Just didn't work for me. If it worked for you or for anybody else, I mean, more power.
I enjoyed it.
He is still the one in that ring who doesn't fit when he's in there with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker and Kane. He is still the odd man out.
Okay.
You know who else didn't buy it? The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, right.
In that match.
The squash match.
Duke, what did he say? Get that crap out of here.
Get that crap out of here.
That's right.
I don't disagree with it. I don't. But I don't think that he never drew a dime. There was a time where those guys weren't there. And
Jericho was drawing with Triple H.
But there was a time when Jericho wasn't there either.
And who was Triple H feuding with at that point in time when none of those guys were there?
Nobody that would draw money over him. I'd have to look at
Scott Steiner.
Do the math.
That's funny.
Take my 33 to 3rd chair.
That was a good fucking
promo. Oh, you mean the best promo ever?
Yeah, that was a great fucking promo.
Oh,
well,
thank
yeah,
you,
man.
Steiner.
Yes, thank you, sir.
That was my Eddie Guerrero recap.
Oh, well, thank you.
Rest in peace, sir.
Yes.
Indeed.
And now, Big Papa Bob.
Oh, well, gentlemen, gonna change it up a little this time. Have something different. Actually came across this article. It's actually on Kotaku. Basically,
who the fuck is Kotaku?
It's a website.
Okay, I don't
video
know what
game
that is.
website. You don't know
No,
Kotaku?
I knew it was a
totally
website.
ignorant. Nope.
All right.
So tell me.
Yes.
It's a video game website.
Yeah, but it's a major one.
Oh, I've never heard of it. I'm sorry.
Ignorance is no excuse, man.
Yeah? Well,
Okay.
It's my excuse.
Well, anyway,
and I'm sticking to it.
The NPD analyst Matt Piscatella released some information about old consoles.
Okay.
So he basically gave us the top 10 best-selling by sales. Top 10 best-selling games for PS1, N64, Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn.
Ooh.
So, I thought it might be fun to play a little game with you guys.
Can we eliminate Sega Saturn?
No. No, you cannot. Where maybe you guys can go back and forth trying to guess what's on this list. For everyone to get right, you get a point.
Okay.
And for whoever has the most amount of points at the end gets a big surprise in the form of assless
Your pants
chaps.
are going to stay on, I hope.
I have a nice pair of assless chaps.
No. I don't like this game.
Lose out. Lose out. So which category would you gentlemen like to start?
Let's start with Sega Saturn, please, and get it out
God.
of the way.
All right.
I forfeit.
Okay. All right. So who wants to see what they could guess as the number 10 best-selling
Did
Sega
they even
Saturn
make 10
game?
games?
Yeah, right.
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
The number 10
Yes.
Sega Saturn game. That game with Marky Mark.
Wrong.
Well, wait. The way we should do this is
Yeah.
you just pick a title.
All right.
And
yeah.
Because I don't know. We're never going to get the
that's true.
exact.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So pick a title. I'll tell you if it's on the list. If it's on the list, you get a point, and then
Right.
I'll go.
Well, there's
through
10
the list.
points.
Virtual Fighter 5. 7. 2.
Yes.
Well,
All
what
right, I'll
the
give you
fuck?
that.
How many damn guesses does he get?
His Sega Saturn knowledge is limited. All right.
It's very limited. Virtual
Right.
Fighter 3.
Okay, so wait a second. If he's going with the Virtua Fighter franchise, which is basically what his answer was.
I'm going through 4.
I'm gonna
Well,
go,
you could just. All right. I mean, I'll give him a pass because most of them there was at least 2.5.
I'm going to go with the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. There has to be a Sonic the Hedgehog on it.
No, there is not.
All right. Okay. All right,
Well, he's in a fucking generous mood, so I'm going to take advantage.
Okay. All right. So
I
Virtual Fighter 2 is on the list.
I gotta know you.
All right. Wait,
He said
Derek.
Sonic.
Sonic 3D Blast is on the list.
All right.
Okay. So it's 1-1.
Okay, and are we eliminating now the Virtua Fighter franchise and the
Yes.
rest of the Sonic franchise? Okay.
Yes.
Panzer Dragoon Saga.
No.
Panzer Dragoon.
Yes.
Isn't that the same shit?
No, it is not.
Jesus Christ!
It
No, it is
hadn't
not.
been turned into
Oh
a
my
saga just
God.
yet.
No. No, that one I will not give. That one I will not give because it is a different game.
Bob's charity ends when it comes to Panzer
The
Dragoon.
Saga is why it was ever on the Saturn in the first place.
Okay. Try again.
Daytona, USA.
Yes.
Ah,
Interesting. Very good. Jesus, I don't think I know another Saturn game. Oh, God, why am I drawing a blank on this? Everybody loved this game. The Final Fantasy Tactics style.
No. I know the one you're thinking of, but it's a no.
They didn't have an iteration for the Saturn?
They did, but it's not on the list.
Oh, okay. What was it?
Shining Force.
Shining
3.
Force, there we
Yeah,
go.
Shining
Thank you.
Force 3, but it's not on the list. It's a great
Okay.
game, but it's not
All
on
right.
the list.
how about that game with the? It's like a platformer.
Oh, that one.
No. You know what I'm talking
No, I
about. See?
don't.
Yeah, you do. It's like someone in a purple suit.
Whoa,
Well,
Knights.
yes,
Knights.
Yes, Nights
Yes.
into Dream is on there. Yes, sir.
Oh boy, I really don't know anything on the Saturn. I'm gonna
So
have
are
to
you out?
Guess. No, I'll guess.
Okay.
Altered Beast,
No.
not on the
Sorry.
Saturn.
Nope.
I don't think that was.
I don't
think
know.
that was
I
on
really.
Saturn.
I'm guessing games from that era.
Now, I just want to reiterate, this is just sales. So this is not, was a good game.
Right.
This is not,
Right.
it's sales.
Right. Oh, dude, I would just settle for a Sega Saturn title at this
Yeah.
point.
So wait, how many did you get?
3-2.
Okay.
In favor of Lou.
All right. Lou.
We're not going to get all 10.
I
We'll be
know,
here
that's
all
why
fucking night.
I'm seeing where I should just cut it.
I think
and
I'm
just,
done.
Yeah.
Okay, you're done.
Did you go first?
I did.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll get
give me
one more. I'll pick another
licks.
title.
Yeah.
Well, I'm done. Oh, Space Harrier.
No.
No. All right, now I'm done.
Here's the list. Okay.
Shoot.
So, all right. So this category, Lou has 3. Derek has 2.
Can I
so.
edit this out?
You sure?
Nobody cares about the Saturn.
So, number 10, Panzer Dragoon. Number 9, World Series Baseball. Number 8, Sonic 3D Blast. Number 7, Sega Rally Championship. Number 6, Tomb Raider. Number 5, Virtual Cop.
Wow.
Number 4, Daytona USA. Number 3, Virtual Fighter 2. Number 2, Nights into Dreams. And number 1, the number 1, and this one really threw me for a fucking loop. Number 1 best-selling Saturn game. Madden NFL 97.
Wow.
Right?
97 wasn't even that good.
Yeah, wow.
I'm baffled.
The system wasn't that good.
Fuck you, man! Alright, so where do you want to go next?
Video games do cause
Oh, that's
violence.
right, it's violence! You're getting violent!
I don't know that I'd consider the Sega Saturn a video game. That's more along the lines of a big pile of shit.
Hate you guys. So where would you like to go next? Which category?
You tell us.
How about, you want to go N64?
Okay.
Should we switch the order this
Yes,
time?
yes.
You
So
go
you,
first.
you can go first.
Super Mario 64.
Yes.
Mario Party.
No.
Really?
Come on.
I know. I know what I'm thinking of. But
No, but it's
I'm
the
gonna have to-
N64!
Yeah. Well, that doesn't. No.
No, but it's the same shit!
Say Superman 64. We're not doing the worst games of all time list here.
Dude, what's on Nintendo? Every time!
Donkey Kong 64?
Yes.
Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Star Fox?
Yes.
Pokemon Snap.
You know.
Really? Wow, they made a system for that. Shit.
The wrestling game.
No.
None of them?
No, sir.
Holy shit. Those were great.
Yeah, they were. I can't remember the name of it, but...
Bro, come
GoldenEye.
on. Yes.
What was it? What did he say?
GoldenEye.
Yes.
Any of the Zeldas?
I'll give it to you.
Right, I mean, I'm going to pick one, right?
Ocarina of Time.
He hated that one.
I did. I didn't buy it.
I'll give it to you. I don't know why you guys are struggling. I mean, this is like...
Well, that's a good bit of them. That's at least 6.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
You guys, come on. Come on. It's Nintendo.
Metroid?
They didn't make a Metroid.
No, I don't know. He's talking about Nintendo. I'm just picking shit out of the air.
Mario
now.
Kart.
Yes,
Yeah.
come on. I was like, what the fuck? All right, the other ones I don't know if you'll get. So
We'll
I don't know
try.
if you
Come
wanna-
on.
Yeah, I'll...
The other three are a little out there.
Blast Core?
No, sir.
Perfect Dark.
No, sir. They're a little.
All right,
tricky.
we'll end it there.
All right.
Wait, no, I got one.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct.
Nope. Oh. Okay.
Do we want to take points away for wrong?
Okay. So
We did 0.
All right. So for this N64, Money got 4, Lou got 3. So number 10, best-selling all time. I can't believe it. Star Wars: Shadow of the Empire.
I was going to
Wow.
say the Star
Okay.
Wars.
I wasn't even thinking that.
Number
I was gonna say
9,
that.
number 9, Diddy Kong Racing. Right. Number 8, Super Smash Brothers. Number 7, Star Fox. Number 6, Donkey Kong. Number 5, Pokemon Stadium, not Pokemon Snaps.
Son of a bitch.
Number 4,
That's actually the one I was thinking.
Ocarina of Time. Number 3, Mario Kart 64. Number 2, GoldenEye. Number 1, Super Mario 64. All right.
Of course.
All right, what's next?
All right. So,
You go first, whatever it is.
Dreamcast.
Fuck.
Yeah, both of us.
It shouldn't be that. There's a couple on here, but most of them you should be able to get.
NFL 2K.
Yes.
Shenmue?
Yes.
Wow. NBA 2K.
Yes.
Oh my god. Soul Calibur?
Yes.
Highest selling Dreamcast games. Kind of an anomaly.
How dare you?
Well, the bar wasn't set very high. After
It's true. This is true.
Guys.
Sonic
Yes. Sonic Adventure. I'll give it to you.
Adventure. I couldn't remember the name of
I
it.
just had one. Crazy Taxi?
Yes.
That was a good fucking game.
See?
Ready to Rumble.
Yes.
Very good game. Now I might be drawing a blank here. Oh, what was that fucking game? The zombie game. The shooter, House of the Dead.
No, but that's a good guess. But no.
Really? House of the Dead wasn't it?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought for sure.
Yeah.
How about Typing of the Dead?
No, sir.
Damn!
Power Stone?
Good guess, but no.
Virtual Tennis.
No, sir.
Virtual Fighter? Is there a Virtual
Stop!
There was, but no.
No Virtual Tennis?
No, I know. That was a pretty big game.
I'm done
Time.
with this list.
All
All
right.
right.
Me as
So
well.
we'll stop it there. So this round, Lou got
We're still
4
tied, 9-9.
and Derek got 3. So here we go. Number 10, Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Fuck, I forgot.
Number 9, Shenmue. Number 8, Ready to Rumble. Number 7, Soul Calibur. Number 6, Crazy Taxi. Number 5, NBA 2K1. Number 4, NBA 2K. Number 3.
I'd like to challenge, but okay.
Number 3,
No, he
Sonic
only
Adventure.
gave me one. I said 2K.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then number 2, NFL 2K1. Number 1, NFL 2K.
Oh, God.
It was a sports heavy system.
It was. It
It's
really
a
was.
pile of shit, apparently, because of all the sports games. Garbage. Get the fuck out of here with that
No,
nonsense.
well, listen, the 2K basketballs at least have continued the whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And they're
listen,
better.
we've already spent way too much time talking about Sega.
All right, so I've saved the best for last, which is Sony PlayStation.
And this might be the hardest. Because there were so many
It
titles.
is certainly not the hardest. Rainbow Six.
Well, yeah.
Oh wait.
No, he goes first.
You go first.
Final
Okay.
Fantasy VII.
Yes, sir.
And it hurts my soul.
Yes.
I almost don't want to take that point.
Resident Evil, the director's cut.
No.
See,
Wow.
that's bullshit.
Metal Gear Solid?
Yes.
Resident Evil 2.
No.
Huh. Well, I have titles in my head. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking of which ones I want to go with first. Tomb Raider?
No.
Okay.
Twisted Metal.
No.
Gran Turismo?
Yes.
How do you like that? You guessed my game and I guessed yours and took the point.
That's all right.
Oh, really? Yeah. I can have it? Thank you.
That's all right. You know that your games are shitty, so you have to pick mine.
I'll give you a hint.
No, please don't.
It's a game. That was for the
Game
PlayStation.
in a box.
Game in a jewel case with an instruction manual.
Battle Arena Toshinden.
No! Thankfully, no!
Madden?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
No Maddens?
No Madden.
Grand Theft Auto.
No, sir.
Nah, not the originals, right? Wasn't big until later. I know it's not going to be there, so I almost don't even want to say it, but I feel like it deserves to be said. Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I wish.
I know it wasn't there.
It wasn't
I
that
just
big
wanted-
of a...
I
That's the funny
know,
thing about
I
that
know.
game. It really, when it first came out, it didn't really sell well.
I'm aware. I just
They
wanted...
made it a
met-
greatest hit, but I don't even think it reached the...
I thought it should have been
It
mentioned.
really
Yeah.
picked up after.
No,
after
I know.
it became, yeah.
I knew it wasn't. I just
Yeah.
thought it...
But you know what? I appreciate
Yes.
it. I appreciate the nod.
Thanks for your concern.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo 2.
Yes.
Wow. Good call. Tomb Raider 2?
No, sir.
How many do we have left?
Quite a bit.
No, it can't be
1,
that
2,
many.
3,
I mean,
4,
maybe
5,
five,
6.
five,
There's
four?
six.
We only got
more
2 each?
titles.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
No.
No. Unfortunately. I'm sure we're missing some glaring ones.
Yes.
Yeah, it's late. I'm actually thinking of that pile of shit classic that they're about to release. Jumping Flash!
Thankfully, no.
Final Fantasy 9.
No.
Yeah, I thought about that too, but unfortunately I knew. Sad.
Yeah.
But
Sad.
what else did I have for that thing?
You guys are missing a big one. All right, we'll just wrap it up.
Alright, just wrap it.
All right. Well, so this one, Money got 3, Lou only got 1. But here it is. The top 10 PlayStation. Number 10, Driver.
Yikes.
Number
Not
9.
even a thought in my
Right?
mind.
Number 9, Crash Bandicoot 2.
Yeah.
Number 8, Metal Gear Solid. Number 7, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. Number 6, Tekken 3. Number 5, Crash Bandicoot Warped. Number 4, Gran Turismo 2. Number 3, Final Fantasy 7. Number 2, Gran Turismo 1. And number 1, fucking Crash Bandicoot. All 3 crashes. And guess what? Not one of them on the PlayStation Classic.
Yeah.
So
That's why-
fuck the asshole who's buying that. Oh wait, it's me.
That's why I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
about Crash Bandicoot.
I thought about it, but I honestly said to myself,
Right.
I didn't, but I was going through the classic in my head, and it was just like, that's not on the classic, so maybe it didn't sell as well as we thought it did, but...
And yeah, so that's it. That was
So, Bob,
yeah.
who won? Do tell.
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here, let me
7, 8,
make
9,
it
10.
quick for you.
1,
I
2,
won.
3. Yeah, the winner is D Money.
But I think we pretty much indicted ourselves there.
What do you mean?
But we don't know shit. We forgot
No, I don't-
all the Crash Bandicoots.
Who gives a shit about
Yeah, it's
Crash
true.
Bandicoot?
Not Sony, apparently.
Exactly. Not good enough
They
to
didn't-
put
they
it in the
didn't
classic
care either.
system.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. I thought it was.
That was fun.
Was
was
it?
fun.
That was fun.
Maybe not.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Well, that's cool. I thought it was interesting.
I can't say I enjoyed the Sega talk, but
All right, well, fuck you guys.
I did
we
enjoy.
got, I think we got more of the Sega shit than we did the non-Sega
Yeah,
shit.
you
I
did.
did enjoy the Saturn stuff. That's
Yeah, I enjoyed you telling me that there were more than
Yeah.
10 games on the side.
Right. There actually was one more category was the Game Boy Color, but
Oh, God,
I didn't want to.
forget it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't think
Pokemon,
that was exactly.
red, blue,
no,
green,
that's
yellow.
it. Right. The Pokemons are like half of them are Pokemon,
No.
so I didn't
and
think
the
it
rest
was
of them are
interesting.
probably Zelda or other cards.
Zelda,
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh is on there. What the fuck is Yu-Gi-Oh?
fuck
Yu-Gi No.
Yeah,
So I figured we wouldn't even bother with that
Yeah.
one because it's not exciting.
everyone's a winner now.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. You know,
Yeah, that was fun.
Or
Shit
not.
you don't think about.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's all I got.
All right.
All right. Well, before I wrap it up, I just want to take an opportunity to thank the Nacho Friends podcast for giving us shout outs over the last couple of weeks, and also the Mel and Apollo show, friends of mine who I've met through a Facebook group who have been tagging everybody about the show on Twitter and Facebook. Awesome. So thank you guys very much for your support. You can catch this episode on Anchor and maybe Podbean. It depends on my mood.
Who knows? Yeah. It depends on their mood too.
Yeah, apparently it does. We're having some technical difficulties with them, but you can certainly catch us on Anchor. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify. And keep your emails coming in. We want them, so send them in, please. All up in your geek at gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and geek up, guys.